Have you ever felt like you got the short end of the stick in a negotiation? Whether it's negotiating a salary, buying a car, or even just deciding where to go for dinner with friends, we all find ourselves in situations where we need to negotiate. The good news is, negotiating is a skill that can be learned and mastered. In this video, we'll cover proven strategies and techniques that you can use to become a master negotiator and get what you want, in literally any situation.
Point 1. Do your research.
The first step to successful negotiation is preparation. You need to go into any negotiation armed with as much information and knowledge as possible.
Research the market value of what you're negotiating for, whether it's a salary range, a car's market price, or the typical rates for a service you're hiring for. Understand the other party's motivations, constraints, and alternatives. The more you know, the stronger your negotiating position will be. Point 2. Start higher, lower than your target.
One of the most common negotiation mistakes is leading with your target or bottom line number right off the bat.
This leaves you with no room to negotiate.
Instead, you want to start higher than what you're willing to settle for if you're the buyer, or lower if you're the seller. This allows room for both parties to make concessions and feel like they've won something through the negotiation process.
Point 3. Listen more than you talk.
It's called a negotiation, not a monologue. The key is to listen actively to the other party and look for openings where you can find common ground or trade concessions. Ask questions to better understand their perspective and motivations. The more you stay engaged and listen, the more opportunities you'll uncover to steer the negotiation in your favor.
Point 4. Think logically, not emotionally. Negotiations can sometimes turn heated, especially when there's a lot at stake.
But you always want to approach the process rationally and logically, not emotionally. Don't take things personally, and don't let anger, frustration, or other emotions cloud your judgment. Stay cool, calm, and focused on your objectives.
Look at everything through a pragmatic lens. Point 5. Create value for both sides.
The most successful negotiations are those where both parties feel like they've won something of value.
Look for opportunities to identify the other party's key interests and priorities.
Then, look for creative ways to build value for them into the deal that don't necessarily cost you much. Adding valuable components gives you a stronger negotiating position and promotes mutual satisfaction.
Point 6. Know when to walk away.
As important as it is to be prepared and apply the right strategies, you also need to know when continuing a negotiation is futile or potentially even detrimental. If the gap between your positions is too wide, if the other party is negotiating in bad faith, or if the deal on the table goes against your best interests, don't be afraid to walk away. Having a best alternative to a negotiated agreement, also known as a BATNA, lets you approach the process with confidence, knowing you're not desperate to get a deal at any cost.
Point 7. Keep negotiating after the deal.
In many situations, the negotiation doesn't end once the initial deal is struck. For example, in business negotiations, there may be opportunities to renegotiate the details of an agreement as conditions change over time. In your personal life, negotiating with a romantic partner doesn't stop after you agree to get married. There will always be situations that require give and take. Great negotiators understand that negotiation is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. Conclusion. The ability to negotiate effectively is one of the most powerful career and life skills you can develop. Whether it's a multi-million-dollar business deal or just deciding where to go for dinner, being able to find creative solutions and reach mutually satisfying agreements can open up a world of possibilities. Apply the strategies we covered, keep practicing, and keep an open mind. With time and experience, you'll become a negotiation master who can quite literally get anything they want through the art of skillful negotiation.